Now what we'll do is we will go towards the reverse of a word. So what we'll do is we'll take one word from the user, and what we'll do is we'll reverse the word and display. So let's move towards that one, that particular program. Okay, for that. Okay, now let's assume that user types. Okay, let's assume that user types word tiger. Now, if it is a reverse program, then what we have to display is we have to display this regit. This is the word that we have to display because the reverse of tiger is regit, regit. Now, suppose if user types like this, and if we display this output, then it is incorrect. Okay, please listen carefully. That if user types like this, then our output should not be like this. Everything in small letters is incorrect because this T is a capital letter. So our output has to be like this. Now, if suppose user types this G also in capital letter, then this G also has to be in capital letters. So the way in which user types, exactly in the same manner, we have to reverse the word and display it. So that is what I wanted to point out. Now, after this, let's talk about how we can achieve this particular output. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to extract R. Then we have to extract E. Then what we'll do is we'll extract G, then I, then T. So the first thing that we'll do is we have to extract. Okay. And after we extract, what we do is simply, if we, what we'll do is we'll extract each character one by one, and extraction will be done from the rightmost side, and once we have extracted, what we have to do is we have to simply store it. Store is store in a variable. That's what we have to do. And in order to do this whole thing, what we also need is a loop. Now that is already there. Loop is the first thing that we have to do. After we have created our loop, what we do is we'll extract. And in order to extract, we'll see how we can extract all these things. And after we have extracted, we will extract each character one by one. And once we have extracted each character, that particular character will be stored in a variable. So if you look at this particular scenario carefully, there is no condition checking over here. Okay, this is what you shouldn't be confused with. We do not need to check anything out here. The question is to display the reverse of the word. So whatever we extract from the rightmost side one by one, we do not need to check, because whatever we extract, that's what we will store in a variable. And once we have already finished all this process, then whatever variable we have used to store, that particular variable, we will be displaying that one. And you can even write this point at the end. What we can do is we will display. That is already there. That is there. So let's see how we can extract each character one by one and how we store. For storing, it is actually the same as that of vowels and consonants. Okay. Let's see how extraction is done. And in order to extract, what we do is we will be using mid dollar. Obviously, left dollar and right dollar, it cannot extract individual characters one by one. So we will be using mid dollar. Now, in order to extract R, first of all, we pass the variable, which is W dollar, right, comma. Then, in order to extract R, what we have to do is we have to go to the fifth position. So here should be 5, then 1. Actually, and for your information, we are using this particular word as an example. Okay. So, okay, let me copy this. Okay, now to extract E, our position has to change. It has to become 4. And every time we will be extracting only one character. So 1 is fixed. And our variable, our value is stored in this variable $. Okay. Here, our position will again change. It becomes 3. Here it becomes 2. And here our position becomes 1. So this is how we have to extract each character one by one. In our previous programs, in our previous programs, what we did was our position started from 1. It started from 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. But over here, we have to extract from the end or from the rightmost side. That's why we are starting from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So in the loop, we will make one small change, which we'll discuss in the editor. And after we have extracted each character, what we have to do is we have to store. And in order to store, this is what we do. So let's use, I usually use this variable rev for reverse. Okay, rev is a variable I'm trying to use to store the reverse of the word. So since this is a variable we are trying to store, use to store, so this will repeat twice. So reverse is equals to reverse plus ch dollar, because this thing we will be storing in ch dollar variable. We will be extracting one by one. And after this whole loop is over, then our reversed value will be stored in this rev variable, and that's what we'll be displaying over here. Now, if we are doing using sub procedure, we'll print, and if we are doing using function, we will return the value. So this is all about reverse. So let's go towards our editor and let's solve this particular program. Okay. So let me first write down the question. Write a program to input a word and display it in a reverse order. And both the programs and this particular program also we'll be doing using function procedure as well as sub procedure. Let's start with sub. Okay, now we are doing a reverse program. So let's write reverse as our sub procedure name. And here also we will be inputting one word. So $, this variable is fine. So CLS input, it is same. Here we need to call, we will be calling reverse. Reverse $. Okay, so this is our main module where we have taken input, we have even called. Now, what we have to do is we have to go to the definition part. So here is our definition part, sub. So it is reverse. Now, L case, U case. Now, just think for some time, do we require this one or not? Okay, I hope you have already thought about it. And if you have thought that this is not required, then you are absolutely correct. Okay, because we do not need L case or U case, because in reverse we are not checking anything. This condition checking, we do not need this one. So we do not need to convert into lowercase or uppercase. This is not required at all. But if we write that particular statement, L case, U case, then our program will be considered as incorrect. Okay, now loop. Here is a small change over here. Now, in our previous programs, we used to check from the first position. We used to extract from first position, second position, third position, and so on. That's why we started with 1. But this time there is a little change. We have to extract from the last position. And last position comes from len $, which is the length of the word. And length of the word is always the last position. So let's take this example, tiger. We have to extract from the 5th position over here. So at the beginning, the value of I has to be 5. And if we take out the length of this word tiger, then it is 5. So len $, eventually is 5. Hence we are writing len $, at the beginning, and we have to go till 1. So 2, 1. And since we are starting from a higher number and we are going towards lower number, we need to use step, because we have to decrease the loop variable by 1. So we have to write step minus 1. So here is our loop. Our loop is ready. Now what we have to do is we have to extract. Now extraction, it is the same thing. CS dollar equals to mid dollar, $, I. And here I will become 5, then it becomes 4, then 3, then 2, and so on. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all comes from I. Now condition checking not required. What we do is we simply store it. And in order to store, as discussed, we will be using rev variable. And since we are trying to store in rev, it will repeat twice. So rev $ plus ch $. And endif is also not required because we do not have endif, we do not have if statement. Now the only thing left is to print. Inside this for loop, all the our this value will be reversed and it will be stored in rev variable. So let's display it. This print the reverse of the word is rev dollar. Okay, so here is our program. So let's check whether our program is correct or incorrect. So let's use the same word tiger, and this is how the reverse word has to be displayed. Okay, though according to how the user types in the same format, we have to display it in a reverse way. So let's quickly discuss about this particular program. Okay, the user has typed word tiger. So the first variable is I, which will store value 5 because len w dollar is 5. Then we have CS dollar. Okay, we have CS dollar, and CS dollar will store the last character, and the last character 5 comma 1, fifth position, which is 5. 5 comma 1 is R, so R will be stored in CS dollar. And we have REV variable, REV dollar. REV dollar at the beginning is nothing. There is nothing over here. So nothing plus R is R. So nothing plus R is R. So we have R in REV dollar. Next will take us to step. There's no step. I will decrease by 1. I becomes 4. 4 is also valid in the range because our loop is valid from 5 to 1. So 4 is a valid number. So fourth position, 1 character. Fourth position, 1 character is E. E will be extracted. It will be stored over here. So REV is equal to REV plus CS dollar. REV is R. R plus E is RE. So RE will be stored in REV. Next step, no step. I will decrease. It becomes 3. 3 is also a valid number. 3 comma 1. Third position, 1 character. That is G, capital G. So capital G is extracted and it will be stored. So this is RE plus G is REG. Next we'll again decrease the value of I by 1. It becomes 2. So 2 comma 1, second position, 1 character is I. I will be stored over here in CS dollar variable. Now here storing will take place. REV is REG. REG plus I is REGI. Next will again take us to step. I will further decrease by 1. It becomes 1. So 1 comma 1. 1 comma 1 is a first position, 1 character. That is capital T. And capital T will be stored over here. And here REV equals to REV plus CS dollar. So REGI plus T is REGIT. Next will again take us to step. No step. I will decrease by 1. It becomes 0. And 0 is an invalid number because our range is from 5 to 1 where 0 doesn't belong. So our loop will get terminated and our control will go below next. And below next we have this statement which will display the reverse of the provided word. So let's run one more time and see the output, REGIT. So if it is REGIT, then our output is going to be tiger. Declare function reverse, REVRSE reverse, W dollar. So whenever we write program using function procedure, now we have to talk about the dollar sign. Now in this particular program, what we will be doing is we will take one word, we'll reverse the word and we'll display the word. So eventually what we are doing is we are trying to display a reversed word, which is a string value. And since whatever the program displays, that's what the function returns. So our program is displaying a word, which is a string value. Since the displayed word is a string value, that value is what our function is going to return. So our function is returning a string value, hence dollar sign is required, because if function returns a string value, we give dollar sign. So dollar sign is there. Now let's write CLS. Now let's take input, enter any word. So user will type a word and we will reverse it. So since this is a program using function procedure, what we have to do is we have to use print keyword. Now in this particular program, our function is only going to return a reversed word. So there won't be any message. So what we have to do is we have to write message manually. So let's write down our message. That is the reversed word is. Reversed word is REVRSE, reverse dollar $. Then end. Okay. So this is our main module. Now what we have to do is we have to write down the definition for our module. So it starts with function, then we write reverse, then we write dollar and $. So this is our function procedure. Now inside function procedure, what we'll do is we will do, okay, what we'll do is we will first of all, we will form a loop. Then we will extract each character one by one. And after each extraction, what we'll do is we'll store that value in a variable. So this is what we'll do. And in order to store in a reverse way, what we have used is, and variable, we used $. So same variable we'll be using over here as well. Now talking about loop, in our previous programs, that is our vowel consonant program, what we used to do was we used to start our loop something like this. What we used to do over there was we used to write for, then we used to start with 1, 2, and then we used to write len. Okay, this is what we used to write, len $. But in this particular program, what we want to do is we want to reverse the word. So in order to reverse, what we have to do is we have to extract from the rightmost side. This is, suppose if I want to reverse this extract, then I have to go from the rightmost side, that is from the end, that is T, C, A, R, and so on. I have to extract like that. So I have to extract from the end. So this is the first alphabet that I want to extract. So for this, what I have to do is I have to first go to this particular alphabet's position, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 7 position. And to track the position, what we can do is we can take out the length of this particular word. The length of the word is also 7. So because of that reason, we were using len $. But in this particular program, what we have to do is we have to first track this position. This position comes from the length of the word. In order to extract length of the word, we use len $. So our first value has to be this position, which is 7. So 7 comes from len $. And that is what it has to be the start value. So we write like this. It has to be start value. Then we write len $ to 1. And our start value, it is greater than our end value. So what we have to do is we have to decrease. And the decrement has to be by 1. So in order to decrease by 1, what we have to do is we have to write step -1. This step -1, what it will do is it will decrease the value of I by 1. So basically this is the loop that we will be using. Extraction, it is same. And for reverse, and in order to store, it is $. Equals to $. plus CS$. So let's see in our editor. Okay, so the first thing, and okay, before starting loop, I would like to tell you one more thing, that is L case and U case. This converting our original characters into L case, U case, that was done in our previous program, that is in vowel consonant we did, because at that time what we used to do was we even had to check condition. But here in this program, condition checking is not required at all. So since condition checking is not required, we do not need to convert it into lowercase or into uppercase. Nothing has to be done. So this is what we have to remember. So let's write our loop, which is I is equals to len $. To 1. Now we have to decrease by 1. So it is step -1. Okay, I thought it would show error, but it didn't show. So len $. To 1, step -1. Now what we have to do is we have to extract. Now for extraction, it is the same statement, which is CS$ is equals to mid$ W dollar comma I comma 1. Okay. Now after this, the only thing left is to reverse or to store the extracted character. Our character will be extracted through mid dollar and it will be stored in this variable CS dollar. So this value we have to store in our variable, or the variable where we want to store is REV dollar. So this is where we store. So REV dollar is equals to REV dollar plus CS dollar. Now it is similar to the previous programs where we stored vowels. For that we wrote V dollar equals to V dollar plus CS dollar. For consonants we wrote C dollar equals to C dollar plus CS dollar. And for reverse we are using REV variable. So this variable will repeat twice. Hence we have written REV dollar is equals to REV dollar plus CS dollar. Okay. Now within this particular loop, uh, all the characters will be extracted. It will be stored in REV dollar, and REV dollar variable will get a reversed value. And that reverse value is of the word which user types. If user types TIGER, then it is going to be rigid. Now let's see. Now before running the program, now one thing left is to return our value. Since this is a function procedure, in function procedure, what we have to do is we have to return the value. And the value that we want to return is stored in REV dollar. So this is the variable that we will be returning. So let's write REV reverse, name of the function, and the value, which is REV dollar. Okay. Now, whatever value it returns, it will go to the main module. So here is our main module, and it will get displayed. It will overlap this particular part from where it was called. And because of print keyword, the whole statement will be displayed along with the reversed word. So let's check tiger. It is REGIT. Now, tiger. Now, if you use L case or U case, then the problem that you will face is this capital T will also become small letters if you use L case. If you use U case, then all these alphabets will be appear in capital letters. And if it comes in capital letters, now in this particular case, it is correct. This is the reverse. But if this REGIT was everything was in small letters, then it would be incorrect because we have capital T over here and there would have been small t. So these are the small things that you have to take care. Okay. The main thing is, remember, in reverse program, L case, U case is not required. Okay. So here we end our reverse program. I hope it is clear to every one of you.
Thank you so much for watching. Please do like my video so that I get motivated to create more of these videos. We would appreciate if you would share this video with your friends. And if you have any queries and suggestions, let me know through the comment section. Lastly, please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you.